Man, I hope you enjoy these videos where we're talking to these people that didn't make it. Just like you, just like all these other people out there, they had these dreams of grandeur. But when they got into the fire, man, they melted. This one's a little bit different, man. I hope you enjoy Greg's story. Man, there's some twists and turns in it. Woo, buddy, this is a good one, man. Enjoy. As always, smash the subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Share it with the world. Get the word out, because we're doing some big things over here, enlightening the young people of America. All right, Gregory, man. Appreciate you coming on here. I know had some adversity. I want to get into like some of the background a little bit more, and talk about kind of how you got to where you were, how you grew up. And then we'll talk about kind of what happened, you know, when it happened and kind of where you're at right now. Does that sound cool?
Yep, that sounds great.
So talk to me, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Maryland.
Okay, Maryland. And what was your early life like? Did you have a stable household, mom and dad, brothers, sisters, or?
I basically raised middle upper class. Basically did not really need a job in high school. You know, didn't need to really pay for much. So
okay.
My mother was a stay-at-home, so she typically took care of me, cook, clean, laundry, all that shit.
Okay.
Played baseball all my childhood up until high school, injured my right rotator cuff.
Okay.
So that's basically the background.
How much chores did you do around the house? Was your dad killing you with chores and stuff like that, or?
No, nothing. My mom did all the chores around the house. My dad worked.
Okay.
He was a nuclear engineer. My mother
real smart dude.
Home. Yeah. So really didn't have any responsibilities growing up, to be honest. Yeah, didn't have a job, didn't work any labor, was an outdoors type of guy either.
Okay, so just run of the mill, video games, skateboarding, bikes, like nothing crazy.
Exactly. Yep. That's up to high school. Went to university, Frostburg State University.
Okay, real quick, Greg, how tough were you? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how tough did you really think you were coming out of high school?
What I thought,
like just like what you thought, and then we'll see what you say now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When at that time, I definitely thought like 8, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
But now thinking back to right now, this definitely was probably 3, 4.
Okay, how long ago was that?
So I'm 27 now, and that was around 10 years ago, let's say.
Okay, 10 years ago. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you go to Frostburg State. You weren't playing sports. You're just in college.
Yeah, in college, just drinking, smoking, partying.
Who was paying for it?
My parents.
My parents were paying
father.
for school.
Yeah. Joined a fraternity. You know, kept doing that thing.
Okay.
Didn't really focus on academics throughout the whole university time.
So what was your GPA?
A high 2.5 to 3, fluctuates around there.
Okay.
Yeah. So senior year comes around. I'm pretty much a complete mess. Don't know what I want to do in life.
Okay.
Very confused. Got really interested I was looking at other options. Got really interested in Army, in the Marine Corps. I originally just wanted to go infantry. During that time, I never thought about an officer type of route.
Okay.
Like just manning up and finishing my college degree and using that to become an officer. Never thought about that. So I wish I had someone to mentor me through that during that time, but that never happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So senior year, I just dropped everything.
When you say senior year, did you finish were you 1 semester away from graduating, 2 semesters, or?
Two semesters. I was in the middle of the first semester of senior year.
Middle of first semester, you just walked in the recruiter's office and said, "Deuces, I'm out." 2010 timeframe, 2011.
2015.
Oh, 2015. Okay.
Yes.
So the war was kind of winding down, but there was still some partying going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, dropped everything. So this is around October, November 2015. Dropped out of school. Just 2 semesters, a semester and a half away from graduating.
Yep.
Decided to just drop it. Obviously, a very stupid idea.
Okay, we'll get into the validity of the idea of dropping out of college to enlist in the army. But let's just I'm painting the picture a little bit better.
Okay, yeah.
Because I want people to understand, right? When they hear, like, a lot of people have hit me up and say, "Hey man, I hear myself in that dude," right? And to really hear, like, for people to really understand, like, they need to hear you say, like, I thought I was an 8 or a 9, man. But looking back, I was a 3 or a 4, right?
Yep,
like,
yep, exactly.
Because like my whole thing is, if you've never done anything tough, then you can't be any higher than a 3.
Yep.
Right? Like, if you've never done anything tough, tough people aren't tough because they don't do nothing and they just show up and they tough, right? Like, I tell everybody, like, I'm probably a quarter as tough now as I was 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's the facts. I'm 50, I'm still tough, but I can't go out and shovel dirt for 2 days. I'll be done after about 7 hours. Now, that's a lot tougher than most people, but still, that ain't who I was before. I cut 3 cords of wood with a handsaw in Virginia Beach right after SEAL training because I didn't want to buy a chainsaw, right? Like, took me like 3 days with a handsaw, a regular old handsaw, and I cut up 3 cords of wood. So, okay, so you dropped out of school. Let's talk about that process. Did you just walk into the Army recruiters? Did you train at all? Was there any training leading up to this?
No training at all. Drinking and smoking mostly. That's
it.
So
we doing this shit just straight raw dog. Like, we going up in this shit, just no condom on at all. No working out, no swimming, nothing. We just showing up to basic day one, like smoking and drinking.
Yep. So it's basically 2016 now. Go to the recruiter's office so it's January. Go to the recruiter's office. I have to wait an extra month because I pissed hot as well. So
so you had weed in your system?
Yeah.
Okay.
During that time, I wasn't training. I still had some time to train, but I decided not to.
Okay.
Just kind of figuring out, kind of studying for the ASVAB, trying to figure out what MOS I wanted to do.
Okay.
Exactly. So after that time, March, April comes around, and I tell my recruiter I want to go 11 Bravo infantry.
Yep.
I took a half of a PT test as well, just for them to see how I do. I did a 1 mile in about 7 minutes. Did about like 40 push-ups in a minute and like 50 sit-ups.
Okay.
So it wasn't that good, but
that's not awful for just drinking and smoking, to be honest with you. That's not awful.
Yeah. My recruiter ended up telling me there was no 11 Bravo slots available, but there was 18 X-ray available.
I bet he did.
So, he explained to me how it's essentially you go in as infantry, you pass basic, go to airborne school, Fort Bragg, go to SF prep course, and then you go to selection. And during any time during that you fail out and get injured, you reclass to 11 Bravo infantry. Okay. But that was not the case. I don't know if he was lying or something changed during that time, because I got reclassed to a different MOS. They're telling me, oh yeah, special forces, you could do that. It's badass. If anything, you'll just become infantry afterwards.
So you wasn't set on going in the military as a special forces guy. You were just trying to go infantry, maybe were you really trying to go to combat, or were you just kind of getting out of college going to do something?
I kind of wanted to do a grittier MOS.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily just go straight into combat, but something hardworking.
Okay.
So I figured just straight up infantry would be the best.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, told me there was no infantry available. that there was only 18 X-ray available at the time. So
Okay.
then I started looking into it, and then I just got drawn into that cool factor, how badass it was.
Yep.
Not thinking about the training required and the planning and all the dedication, and I just fell into that. Oh, it'd be so cool to be a Green Beret. I'd get all these people would love me. I'd get all the chicks. I'd get all the respect, but
Yep.
of course, but yeah, wasn't thinking right. So I just went with it. I was like, yeah, if anything, I could fall back to an infantryman.
So you thought you could just reclass, and so you weren't necessarily drawn by the Green Berets, but you were thinking you wanted to go into infantry, but you really didn't have, like, it wasn't. So a lot of my guys are like been watching videos for 15 years, and all they do is dream about being Green Berets, Navy SEALs, MARSOC Marines. That wasn't your case so much. You just kind of fell into the deal. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk to me. So you when did you ship out?
April 26th to 2016.
Okay. April
out
2016. How was your first week in basic training?
I guess it was a little rough, just getting yelled at constantly, just going here, doing that, just running around everywhere.
Okay.
Basic training. I figured basic training would help my runs, help my physical training, but it really didn't help me out at all. I feel like I got even more out of shape, essentially.
Okay.
Just
so you went from smoking and drinking every day to basic training. You feel like basic training made you more out of shape. I say it all the time. Basic training is gonna get you out of shape now. It's gonna get you out of shape.
Yeah, eating all those biscuits and gravy in the morning.
Yeah, biscuits and gravy, eating 3 square meals a day, all that stuff, right? Having to clear your plate. They won't let you not eat. You're not really working out that much. None of it's really physically intensive for the most part.
Yeah, I figured we'd run every single day. That didn't come close to that.
Yeah.
Probably ran twice a week. Maybe a little more than that.
Yeah.
I knew my physical traits weren't up to par at that time, but I was sort of kind of banking on basic training to improve me on that part. So I went through during basic was you needed 240 APFT.
Okay.
For that, because the 18 X-ray contract, you need a higher APFT score. It was 240, so I think it was like 60 push-ups, 65 sit-ups, and 14 something run.
Okay.
And I just probably didn't get to those numbers for the first couple APFTs.
Okay.
And that's when I started to realize right there that this shit ain't gonna work for me.
So like you were in basic training realizing that you wasn't even going to make it to 18 X-ray. You weren't going to make it to selection or the prep course or none of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A little background on the company. The whole entire company was 18 X-ray contracts.
Okay.
Almost every single dude. So my whole entire platoon was 18 X-ray, except for there's maybe a couple option 40s and a couple regular infantrymen.
Okay. Were you at the back of that group for the most part?
Yep, in the back of the group in the runs, and all that.
Okay.
So it was quickly setting in pretty quickly that there were some high-speed guys there that just ran through all that shit.
Okay.
And I was not even close to that, so I was quickly realizing that this was not going to be for me.
Okay.
Black phase, which was the end of basic, was the final APFT you had to take. Essentially, I could not get that 240 APFT score, which is required for you to move on through the 18 X-ray contract to go further to Fort Bragg to do airborne school. So there was about 20 guys also with me that did not pass the APFT. the 240 score,
Okay.
APTFT score. So probably like a week after that, we were told that we were being reclassed.
So let's real quick, let's talk about that. So out of how many people total did 20 guys not even get out of basic training and headed to 18 X-ray or option 40?
How many?
Like 120?
Yeah, in the hundreds. Yeah, 150 maybe
Okay.
around there.
So 20%.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a couple of transfers from the Navy. There were sergeants in our basic training as well.
Did they make it or no?
Yeah, they made that cut, but
Okay.
I don't know how far they got into that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we were being told that we were being transferred to a different MOS, a different location to finish up the training for cavalry scout.
Okay.
19 Delta. I had no idea what that was at the time, so I started to freak out, worry about what was gonna happen to my future, what my job was gonna be. But 19 Delta is cavalry scout is kind of similar to infantry.
Okay.
Combat MOS, I'd say. So, but
now, are you riding Bradleys or you riding helicopters?
Bradleys.
Bradleys. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this all just did not go my way at all.
Okay.
Ended up getting transferred to a different area on Fort Benning to finish up cavalry scout training, the last portion of it where we learn all the get more familiar with the heavy weaponry.
Yep.
50 cals and the machine grenade launchers. Yeah, I finished out that. I became a cavalry scout instead. So all that 18 X-ray shit just went right out the window real quick.
So at any point in this, did you say, man, I should have finished college?
Yeah, I did. Probably when I started to realize that the Green Beret wasn't going to be for me and that staying in college was the better option.
Okay.
But yeah, also the 18 X-ray contract is a 6-year contract, so it's a lot of your time. Yeah, it's a lot of your time.
So they got you for 6 years. The Navy's doing it all the time. Like, you want to go SEALs, you got to sign up for 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right. So they got you for 6. You wrap up Benning. Did you go to advanced training?
No.
You just went straight to a company, to a cavalry scout unit.
Oh, I did the advanced training for cavalry scout.
Okay.
And then got my orders to Fort Carson, Colorado.
Yep.
4th ID. And then I just rolled with it there. But
did you do a deployment?
I did do a rotation to Eastern Europe in 2017, December 2017. I went to Germany, Poland, Hungary.
Okay, so 6 years. You still in right now?
I'm not.
Okay, you just got out.
I actually got out early.
Okay, how'd you swing that?
Yeah, so I would say the company, the troop I was in, it was very bad. I was hanging out with the wrong people. There's lots of drugs going around, so I went right back full circle to where I started essentially.
Okay.
People were smoking weed, doing other shit. Guys were always just like being toxic. I was just so unmotivated. And people were telling me how you can get out. Oh, it's so easy. You could do this and that. And then I kind of just started failing PT tests, just one after the other. And then, just long story short, they just figured I was unfit to continue, I guess, physically.
So what kind of discharge did you get?
It was an honorable discharge.
So you just got an honorable discharge, unable to complete PT tests. They didn't screw you on your exit from the Army.
They did not screw me at all. No.
All right, so that's at least that's a happy ending, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it didn't really feel honorable at all, but Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, you know, you could be like the dude, the Bonham Richard dude, fell out of buds, go start a fire and burn up a $1.2 billion ship. And now he's going to spend like 25 years in prison.
Yeah.
That's a bad way to do it.
Yes.
You picked a less than honorable way to do it, but like at the end of the day, you didn't screw your whole life over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought you was going to tell me you pop positive for weed, you know, because that will get you out real quick.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad one. I still ended up getting 70% of my GI Bill.
Okay.
And after I got out, then I decided to finish my accounting degree. That's what I was studying throughout university.
Okay.
So then I decided to finish. After like 2 years, I got my bachelor's degree in accounting.
So you had to go back, and you didn't have a semester and a half no more, because they probably told you you've been out for 6 years. You got to redo some classes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did you go back to Frostburg State?
No, I went to a different university. My parents moved around, and they ended up in Ohio at that time.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just rolled with them and went to the university close to my residency.
Yep.
And just finished up there. But after I got my degree, I actually started to think about attempting to go officer after that whole ordeal. And then once again, I went to my local recruiter's office, and they were telling me, we're not sure if you can go officer since you've been honorably discharged. So I don't know how that works at all, but that's
the fact that you got out on PT tests, like, they may not take you, right? Like, they may ask you that question. Why'd you fail PT tests? Well, are you going to do the same thing when you come back in? Like, they ain't going to look too favorably on that. But I know the Army's always short on officers, always.
Yeah.
I've had one dude have some troubles getting in the Army as an officer, and he's an absolute bonehead. He wrote some stupid shit on his resume, the dumbest shit in the world. All right, so talk to me. Let's talk about just kind of psychologically, you know, I know I asked you this question before, but you're a big proponent of actually graduating from college if you in college.
Yeah, for sure.
Was there any benefit of dropping out of college and enlisting in the Army?
Oh, there was none. There was no benefit
there was none. Like, you can't think of a single positive that came out of you dropping out of college and enlisting in the Army.
No, I don't think so. To be honest, there's nothing.
I'm just asking the question, brother. I want to make sure that people are clear. You know, I got a bunch of these idiots that think that dropping out of college because I'm going to combat, man. Where are you going to combat at? Well, I don't want to miss this war with Russia. Come on, man. What? You know, I just read an Instagram yesterday. It was absolutely spot on. When is the last time that you heard somebody say, I'm going to invade that country? And then like 3 weeks later, they actually invaded that country. Never. Saddam Hussein didn't say, hey, I'm going to invade Kuwait. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't happen that way. So, you know, I want people to hear it from you because, like, you just lived it for 5 years, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, bro, I try to explain to people, man, it's a hard ass bad lifestyle, especially if you don't want to be there.
Especially with my background as well. Just wasn't the right background. I did not have the right childhood or growing up to do SOCOM type of work.
So talk to me about the background. What kind of background do you think does well in the SOCOM environment, having been in the Army for 5 years?
Like you mentioned before, like people do construction, people that do labor work, maybe outdoors type of people. Like, I've barely ever been outdoors before joining the military.
Yep.
And going out there, it's like it's a whole different world.
Yep.
So yeah,
feeling like just sleeping in a tent, shitting in the woods, man.
Yeah, and I didn't even like that part. So
yep.
And if you don't even like that, you ain't gonna get far at all.
Yeah. Well, shit, Greg, what else you want? Anything else you want to talk about? I mean, this pretty fire, man. I'm trying to do some more of these because I want people to hear it from the people that, you know, took the shot and missed.
I mean, if you're already midway in a college degree or almost done with it, definitely do not drop out, or definitely don't do that, because I didn't see any positive of doing that.
Yep.
You have plenty of time to go do that attempt to do that shit, the SOCOM shit. So just, yeah, I really wish I went to the officer route, get that experience that way.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have been in a way better environment as well.
Yep. All right, brother. Well, look, man, I thank you very much for coming on here, man.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, I didn't realize how valuable it was going to be. You know, the first time I did it a couple of weeks ago. Now I understand what's going on. Like, I'm gonna try to do more of these. These are better than the ones I'm talking to real SEALs. You know, because you paint a picture of everyday life that we talk about all the time, but people don't believe us. You know, they don't believe us. So you just adding some validity to everything that we're saying and where we're trying to go. We're just trying to help everybody get better and understand that, like, look, man, you know, that whole jumping out of college to enlist or enlisting with a college degree, nine times out of 10 is just an absolutely bad idea. You know, bad idea.
Yep.
So, all right, Greg, man, thank you very much, brother.
All right. Yep. No problem.
Talk to you later.
All right. Take it easy.
Man, that was a great conversation with Greg. Woo, buddy, dropping out of college with the semester and a half, going 18 X-ray contract and smoking and drinking before you going in. Woo. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the fact that he was talking about all the drugs in the Army. He was talking about all the unmotivated people he was surrounded by and just how hard it was for him to get out. And then he got out, and it took him another 2 years to graduate from college, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, smash the subscribe button. And you know what we building around here? We build champions for life.